Fahrt beträgt 3 Knoten. Fahrt beträgt 1 Knoten.
Welcome back to the next video. So here we are very close to coming to the end of our exiting the harbour. Now the autopilot has brought us right down to very slow speed, and that is because we've come within the collision or buffering zone of other boats. So we have a couple of small coastal vessels here, of which we are getting rather seriously close to. So when this happens, they'll automatically bring the speed right down, 4 knots, 2 knots, in order to try and avoid a collision. Now, we are on a collision course with this particular one here, so I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to permit them to continue on this course. So I may take over, I may switch off the automatic. We've left essentially the bay, so we can pretty much take over ourselves now. If we keep it going, then it will eventually switch off. But because I don't trust it, I am going to change course and make
Ruder
sure
1,9 Grad
we
Backbord.
well and
Ruder
truly
3,
avoid
4 Grad Backbord.
this chap. So we're going to bring us hard left, still going quite slowly, so he might bring us up to a head standard.
Halbe Fahrt voraus.
So you can override at any point.
Ruder 0 Grad Steuerbord.
And we'll drift dangerously close. So there we go. But yes, if we weren't going to collide, I would just keep it going, and it would automatically switch off at a certain point. But seeing as we're out now, there's not really that much need to have the harbour pilot continuing. So here is our direction heading. Here you can determine your direction by simply pointing and clicking on a point. Speed, various boat commands here: surface, decks awash, periscope depth, snorkel depth, dive, crash dive, low ballast to surface, or maintain depth once you've reached a set depth. You can change here to make it the more complex, where you just simply have a graticule. This is for the deeper depths by pressing that button by 5, and here we have the speed where you can set exactly the speed that we want simply by hovering over it like that, which is quite handy. So then, now what we do, we'll go back to that one. We are now heading out into the bay. There is nothing really around us, so I'm quite happy to just continue on that way while we go down and have a look at the map. And plot a course. So the first thing that I would like to do is we'll go onto the map. We will have our navigator, so we select at the bottom here. We'll have him just give us a dead reckoning determination. Meanwhile, I'll go over here, we'll cancel that, we'll get rid of that out of there, so we don't need the harbour control anymore, and we'll go with dead reckoning for a position. In fact, I'll just slow us down a little bit.
Langsame Fahrt voraus.
So where are we? He's still calculating the dead reckoning position. It takes a few moments while he does that, but not as long as Celestial. Hopefully we'll get a position on the map soon. And voila. So what we'll do is I'm just going to calculate distance travelled here to here, here to here, and here to here. So distance travelled is 2150 meters plus 4100 plus, now why am I doing this? Plus 350. Total distance travelled so far up until the time point of 9:33 is 6.6 kilometers. 6.6 kilometers. We divide that by the sum of 1.852 and that gives us 3.56 nautical miles. I tally up the distance travelled and I report this for the days travelled. That's what they did. They would report how far they travelled on the surface and how far they travelled underwater as part of their report. So I like to do that as well. Now, we want to get to this patrol area here. We are here. So, the quickest way to get there is to travel to the edge of the circle here, which is a distance of 180 kilometers. The heading is 250 degrees. So you can see that on the top right of the protractor, it says 250, that's the heading. 270 would be due west exactly. This is 20 degrees south of that at 250. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here and I'm going to bring us to 250. So you can hover over that and use your mouse wheel to scroll up and down, like so, with the mouse wheel. But we want 250. 249 is close enough.
Neuer Kurs 249.
And as soon as you move your mouse away from there, the speed is set. But the direction is set, I should say. Next, I'm going to go ahead standard, I should say.
Halbe Fahrt voraus.
So we're going to go ahead at standard speed along this course until we hit the edge of the patrol quadrant, which is at 180 kilometers. So this is the patrol quadrant is A095. So the first thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to head back upstairs, make sure that everything here is good, that we're not going to hit anything. Nope, looks like it's all open water. I'll do a quick check to see what the depth under keel is. Depth under keel is
Tiefe unter Kiel beträgt 19 Meter, Herr Karlein.
20 meters, so we do not want to go underwater just yet. Now I'm just going to get rid of that. There we are, that's better. Keep the screen nice and clear. So from 9 o'clock until 9:33 we've travelled 3.56 nautical miles. We have 180 kilometers to go. Now, we're going to come up to about a speed of 12.5 knots at a head standard. How long is it going to take us to get to this point here? Now, 1 knot is 1 nautical mile per hour. That's how that equates. So we need to figure out how many nautical miles is 180 kilometers. We divide 180 kilometers by the factor of 1.852. So this distance here is 97.2 nautical miles. In order to determine how many hours it'll take us to get there, our speed is 12.5, so or 12.6, so that's 12.6 nautical miles per hour. How long will that take us to travel 97.2? So it's a simple calculation of dividing 97.2 divided by 12.6 which is 7.7 hours. So 7.7 hours is 7 hours, and 0.7 of an hour is 0.7 times 60 minutes is 42. So approximately 7¾ hours if we maintain this speed for us to reach the edge of our patrol. Looking at the time here, it's 9:38. Let's just say for sake of argument 9:30. So 9:30 plus 7 hours, 9 plus 7, 9, 10, 11, 12 is 3, plus another 4 is 4 p.m, plus 45 minutes is, so 4:30, so it's about 5:15 in the evening we will be arriving in the edge of the patrol quadrant. 5:15 on 31st of August. So that's some time. And not much is going to happen in between here and there. So what we would do is we would use time compression. Up here is the time compression option. We can press plus and minus, or you simply press plus and minus on the keypad on your keyboard, on the number pad on your keyboard. As you can see, it speeds up like this. I get a little bit seasick when it's a bit fast, so I tend to only do it when I'm looking at the map. So that's where we're at with this one. Now we have left the bay, left the port, we're off autopilot. We have determined the course that we need to travel, we have our speed set, we've determined that the time we're going to arrive in that patrol quadrant is approximately 5:15 this afternoon at this current speed. All of our crew are happy. So the last thing that I'm going to do before we quit this video is I'm going to give you a nice little view of our boat as she makes her way out. And there she goes. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.